Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. Welcome to the Gamey Daddy channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. So today's video is going to be about The Division-ish because apparently The Division is not going to be showing up on the Ubisoft Forward event. They even put a community post saying that they weren't going to be present there and all of the above. And so I thought, well, that's quite interesting. I wonder what is going on. I wonder why this would be a thing. Well, if you go back, the last time they were at Ubisoft Forward, they made a promise that they couldn't keep. I mean, a lot of things, whatever it was, happened, and they could not keep up with the event that they wanted to do with the Keenly College event. I think it was a project something, some weird name. I can't even remember the name. It's that forgettable. And we ended up getting close. Basically, we got an apparel event with the Resident Evil thing. Now, I mean, I can understand that there's a side of the community that is slightly disappointed about this, and I definitely understand why. And I was kind of trying my best to dig a little bit, like, you know, why would a decision like this be made? Usually you don't know anything. You kind of come into this whole picture with these corporate publishers, and they hardly tell you jack, and that's just pretty much where you are. Well, it happened to be that the Rainbow Six title has actually #1 been changed, and I think there's some sort of a relationship here. So let me see if we can unfold it a little bit. The title was going to be Rainbow Six Quarantine, but now, just recently, they've actually changed the title to Rainbow Six Extraction. This is a new Ubisoft title that is going to be led and produced by producer Antoine Vimal Dumontet. That's his name. I kid you not. Sounds like he dropped from like a French castle as a prince. Looks like one too. If you even go take a look at his picture, he's super French. But it was just interesting to listen to him as to exactly what it is this is going to be. So they had 3 developers do a developer reveal and talk very briefly about the game. It's literally a 1 minute and 47-second video that I strongly believe any Tom Clancy fan should take a look at. They've advertised this game as not only a Rainbow Six game, but as a co-op game. So there's going to be this co-op aspect to it. And I think this may be the crux as to why we're not going to be seeing The Division show up in this Ubisoft Forward event. I mean, I was being a little tongue-in-cheek when I said the last time we saw The Division in an Ubisoft Forward, event, we got close, but who would want to take away the shine from a brand new co-op game that could appeal to similar audiences by bringing a game that is old? I don't know many studios that want to do that, and I get it. The Division community, we know we've been with this publisher for the past 5 years, but again, it doesn't take away from the fact that they're still working on our game and still making a new free-to-play game that's going to appeal to our community, if at all it can do so. So that doesn't detract from anything, in my opinion. I'd rather them be developing than actually coming on board and talking about stuff that we may or may not see, if you get what I mean. Because from the development side, development takes a little bit. For those of you who don't know, I do some game development as a hobby. I'm learning it, and I can tell you that my next video on it is going to really expose a whole bunch of stuff and show you how fruitless game development can be. And I'm not saying fruitful, I say fruitless. Basically, how much time you can waste if you do not manage your time properly. And so when you think about this strategy of trying to bring this new co-op game, I think this is where it's going to be very interesting. Again, I think this Rainbow Six game may have just hijacked something very critical to The Division, an Extraction. Now, they go ahead and just basically say, you know, the lead developer, the creative director, he said something along the lines of, this game is going to be a game that actually has your team have to make decisions, whether it is they want to push forward or whether it is they want to extract. His name is Patrick, I think, Mithe. I think that's how you say his name, the creative director of this new game. And I think Extraction might be a critical component of this game. Now, I haven't played Siege more than like 20 minutes of just looking and going, what the heck am I doing? I don't know if Extraction is a thing when you finish, a PvP match or something like that. But they also mentioned that you guys will be fighting against a common enemy. I don't know exactly what it is, but my first off the cuff guess is that they are trying, in my opinion, guys, in my opinion, I got to say it over and over again, they're probably trying to appeal to an audience that is not on the competitive space and keep Rainbow Six Siege as a competitive game while they continue to support and churn that money out. If you think about it, Rainbow Six is already the billion-dollar franchise. Stay with me. This is how these game developers and game publishers work. They're not going to just basically, butcher a cash cow just because they are bringing out a new title. No, that ain't going to happen. I think what's going to happen is Rainbow Six Siege is going to continue to be its own thing. It's going to continue to do its own, international, appeal for competitive nature. I mean, they have their events that they do Rainbow Six International. They have the PvP side. They have the hardcore community grinding. They're supporting the game. I mean, it has gone through its issues nonetheless. But I think because of that potential billion-dollar franchise that it is, they're probably going to want to milk potentially another $1 billion out of it. Now, if Rainbow Six Extraction comes with a PvP, dedicated PvP mode that does fulfill what Rainbow Six Siege does fulfill, then no doubt it's going to probably be the, organic or natural successor to that. But I don't know. I mean, but if you listen to what the developers said, if you take notes, there are like 3 or 4 things that will stand out to you and just hit you. A cooperative game where people are going to play against a common enemy, the need for a team to be able to either push forward or extract, and even trying to finish your mission with no person left behind. That to me sounds very different if you ask me. Perhaps it may look like something where, you're going into these missions with your teams and there might be battle royale, or I don't know. I'm going to say battle royale. That's probably going to drive some people away. But if you kind of think about it, I think this is something that the developers are quite excited to kind of showcase. And after a lot of work, after a lot of delays, I don't think, maybe in their minds anyways, they thought that, it may not be appropriate to show any old content for other games. But here's the other thing. That excuse is not even valid. It doesn't even give them a cop-out. Why? The reason it doesn't give them a cop-out is simply because Rainbow Six Siege is more than likely going to be getting some reveal and also getting some focus and some press. Now, again, if you want to kind of chalk it up to that, I would argue that Rainbow Six Siege potentially is going to be getting that front of the line because the game is the multi-billion-dollar franchise. For those of you who don't know, I keep saying this, but if you don't know, Rainbow Six Siege has actually raked in about 2.5 or more billion dollars for Ubisoft Corporation. If you guys didn't know that, that's why I keep mentioning that. The game has been absolutely profitable and lucrative for the company. So if you don't know why I think they're giving Rainbow Six a lot more coverage and a lot more press, it's because that's the game that's churning out money. Yes, The Division is its own thing, but it has not hit the $1 billion mark by any stretch, and largely understandable. It's a PvE game mainly. It has its own issues, has its own play style, has its own unique selling points. That's not necessarily interesting to a lot of people, if you get what I mean. So these are some of the things that we're going to be looking at. So my goal is to just wait for Ubisoft Forward. I know there's a lot of speculation from this particular video, but again, it's not just speculation based on empty stuff. They have revealed the new game. The developers have made statements about the new game. So this is where we're going to be coming from. And I guess everything is going to fall into place and into a bigger context once we see what's going on in Ubisoft Forward, number one. And number two, once they continue to reveal more about the marketing. I strongly suspect that we're probably going to be seeing this Rainbow Six Extraction game somewhere around the holiday season. If you guys know as well, Far Cry 6 is also on the table. There are going to be probably more reveals, potentially more gameplay with Far Cry. I think they're just going to come ahead and say, hey, this is what we're doing. This is how we do this. And they're probably going to play perhaps an outpost, which is something that Far Cry will have a bunch of, or maybe play a side quest just to showcase some of the game's mechanics. But Ubisoft usually does stuff like this. They bring their gameplay to events, and so expect to see something like that. And I think this is something that a lot of players would benefit from, because those of you already seen the pre-order signs everywhere. So don't go pre-order something yet. Hold on to your bucks. Wait till you see some gameplay, and then if it affirms what it is you've suspected, you can either make a decision for or against. That's pretty much my video. I appreciate you guys so much. Let me hear your thoughts in the comment section. I'm looking forward to the cliche Ubisoft Forward event, but again, like I said, it's one of those things where you just have to wait to see what it's about to be able to form a better context around all of this. Talk to you guys in another video. Thank you so much. Peace out.